Hey everyone, welcome back to Code with NM. I am NM and here we learn coding by building real projects together. Whether you are a beginner or leveling up your skills, you will always take something practical. Let's jump straight into today's topic. So today we are doing Python Bootcamp live day 3 and our topics I've already described it into the description, which is the conditional statement we will be going through, which are if, elif, else, match case. The second, a looping statement, while, for, and range. These two topics we will be covering in today's live session. So before starting and going ahead, if any one of you have any doubt regarding previous live of any topic, you can ask, or any other topic in terms of programming or coding, or you're stuck on the projects. So we can start with that. Or else we can directly straight jump into the conditional statement starting with if. Let's wait for few seconds. Meantime, while waiting, I have a Rubik's Cube. You also have something with you. Today I don't have a giraffe with me, that's why I will be solving Rubik's Cube all the time you all asking me questions or clearing your doubt. Where is Giraffe? Giraffe is not well. He's hospitalized and veterinary doctor is taking care of him. So hope we pray for him and he will soon enough get well. Okay, so this is a solved Rubik's cube. Let's jumble it up. Now let's jump into the if, and then meanwhile you are asking questions or solving your doubts. We will be I will be solving the Rubik's cube meantime. Okay. Okay, just a second. Let's. Where is my VS Code? Okay, hope my screen is visible. Let me take my VS Code to the done. I hope this is visible. Good. Okay. Now I can see both the things. Live chat also controlling my VS Code. Lock. Ah, chalo. Let's start. So let's do it again. If what is if it is a conditional statement? What is condition? Any type of condition in today's world. If you are a Gen Z, you all applies in your friendship, your any type of relationship. The condition is there. So those are the conditions. And also, if you are not as in not a Gen Z, but of course you are a working professional. So in your office you have a time limit of to solve any issues. That is the condition uh, and the pressure we face in our work life. So that's it. What is condition is. So condition here we can do anything with the help of conditions. So first thing first, let's have an example and let's understand with an example is num1 it's holding a value of 10, num2 is holding a value of 5. In if I'm comparing those num1 and num2 which are variable, so num1 is greater than num2. If means is it greater than or not. So if it is greater means if num1 is greater than num2, print, and I have certain a long printing statement using f printing one because also I want to showcase the value of num1 and num2 in my printing statement. So num1 colon, it will print the value of num1 which is 10. So num1 colon 10 is greater than num2 colon 5. So 10 is greater than 5. In short, basic simple maths. Yes, 10 is greater than 5 means this if condition is true, and if it is true inside anything, either it can be an another logic or a simple printing statement, it will be successfully executed. So in our case, inside if means how I am knowing in Python it is inside if is because this indentation, it is not exactly aligned with the print, is not exactly aligned with my if. It is indented, means it is inside if. This is how you identify how or anything is inside if or not. Simple as that. So going ahead, if num1 is greater than num2, in our case this condition is true. So 10 is greater than 5. So of course the print will work and we will get an printing answer. Let's see, let's run this code, Python, enter and see num1 10 is greater than num2. Let's change something. Let's change the value of num1 and see if this print or this condition works or not. So what I am doing is reducing the value from 10 to simply 1 and saving the program. Now num1 is greater than num2, yes or no? So of course not. Num2 now is greater, means 5 is greater. Of course the 5 is greater. So in our case this condition is false. So what happens if the condition is false? Let's see. So what will happen? Let's save it. Python executed, and you can't see anything. There is no output. Why? Because if anything inside if will only execute if the condition of the if statement is true. But in our case, in this case, the condition is false. So that's why it won't execute anything inside the print. As simple as that. This is our first conditional statement if. Hope you all get it. Okay. So what will happen if it is not true? The condition is not true. The condition is not satisfied. So there is no output, and we don't write such type of code. We only write a code which is user friendly, or there should be some message on the screen. So there we have an else part in the place. So let's have else part and see if I hit the enter, it is coming indented, means inside the if, but else is always outside the if. Simple colon, this is a syntax, and here we will have print, and let's copy paste the same thing. So number one colon curly braces num1 is not greater than num2, because in if condition we have written num1 is greater than num2, and in second condition I have written num1 is not greater than num2. If that if condition is correct, it will print the printing statement inside the if, and if it not, then else part will be executed, and inside else anything can be there, it will be executed well. So in our case it is print, so simply it will be printing this one, this print. Simply save it. Let's clear the console, run Python, 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 enter. See, the else part were executed. If it is confusing, let me remove this one and this one, of course, from here also and here also. And let's save it again. Let me execute it again. Now you can see the num1 is not greater than num2 because our num1 is holding a 1 value and num2 is holding a 5 value. So here it will come, check num1 is 1 is greater than 5, which is 1 is not greater than 5. Of course this won't be executed. It will directly jump on else part, in else doesn't have any condition, of course, else always won't have any condition, so it will direct execute anything inside it, and here we have printing statement, so it works. Let's clear the console, and again let's increase the value of num1 from 1 to 10, save it, and let's see, it should execute the if part. So it is executing the if part. 10 is greater than num2, the condition is true, and the print statement should execute num1 is greater than num2, the same thing we have in our output. Done. I hope um, this part is clear. Let me quickly check the live chat. Okay, there's no doubt. So what else we can do here? Of course, we can play around with not just comparing this num1 is greater than, it can be num1 is equals to num2. It also can num1 is not equals to num2, num1 is less than num2, num1 is less than equals to num2, num1 is greater than equals to num2, and of course we already have seen the num1 is greater than num2. All type of logical operators we can use over here. If you want, we can try those two. Let's take same example. Let me comment this, and we will see two more. Num1 is not equals to num2, and we will have print, and simply we will write number1 is not equal to number2, and don't forget the double quotes, of course. And if this is not true, we will use else print if they are not equal, and that is what we are checking in the if condition. Then what will be the statement in else? Let's think. Simply if they are not equal, we are checking it and we are printing that. If that is false, that if condition is false, that simply means they are equal. As simple as that. Is equal to number2. Let's save it. We have, let me just cut this, paste it over here for you all to visible. Let's clear the console, save it, and let's check. We know the output because 10 is not equals to 5. This condition is true because here what the condition is, num1 which is 10 is not equals to num2. This is our condition over here, means if condition is satisfied, that means the print of if, the print inside if will be executed. So let's save it, Python, of course our file name, and hit enter. See, the output is num1 is not equal to num2. Simple. If we change it to 5, let's make them equal. I will change this to 10. Let's save it. Now this condition will become false and else part will be executed. So save it. Same again, python.app. Simple. Now you can see the else part was executed if condition was not satisfied. So it displayed the output number1 or num1 is equals to num2. As simple as that. So if you want to see any other example greater than equal to, that also I can show you. Rest you can try it as homework, that equal equals to, less than equals to, greater than, less than. The other you can try it as homework. Homework means offline, of course. Classwork or the online live, we can't cover everything, but yes, you can try everything offline or as homework. Why it is known as homework? Because you do it at home, but in today's generation you can do it at anywhere. Go to any cafe or everything, just have a coffee, sit down with your laptop and try coding. Coding is such a simple thing. You just need to take your laptop and sit. Focus is everything in coding. So here we are going to try less than equals to. So num1 is less than equals to num2. Simple. Print typo double quotes. So we, this should be and should be capital is, so here is two condition. On the same time we are checking if num1 is less than num2, or this is not an and case, this is or, that condition less than equals to, it act as an or. So one time it will check one condition. So first it will check num1 is less than num2. If that is true, okay. If that not true, then it will jump onto equals to, then it will check num1 is equals to num2. As simple as that. So num1 is so this is a tricky statement to write. So we can directly say that the condition is true, and in else part we will be printing the condition is false. FALC. Let's save it. Let me cut the things from here, paste it above, and in this case they both are equal, means if condition will work, the two things here, it is or, means logical condition also. On top of that we will have an arithmetic sequence comparison. So comparison and logical are combined in this if condition. Simple. So let's clear the console, run it, see the condition one is true because they both are equal. Let's make the num1 to 17, save it, and now let's see the output. See, the condition is false. Why the condition is false? First thing first, it will check it is less than num1 is less than num2. So is 17 is less than 10? Simple match. No. That's why it will jump to else. No, it will check for equals to also. So num1 is equals to num2, 17 is equal to 10. No. Once both the condition is false, then it will be directly jumping on the else part. Simple. Done. And also let's go for, let make number as 3. We are going for the less than part, and see the condition is true. You see the output, the condition is true. So it will check it is less than or it is equal. So if both the condition is not satisfying in if, then it will directly jump to the else and print the statement. I hope if and else is cleared. Let me jump to the live chat. Hi Atharva. Okay, thank you Rama. Sir, if I complete the Python basic, after that, what can I do? Can I go with NumPy Pandas library? Of course, the main motive of this Python basic is to, I will lead you all to ultimately the NumPy and Pandas, because after that, I will be doing a live for cyber security, of course, data analyst, data science. That's what my ultimate goal is, to lead you all to data science. But for that, we need to have a strong basic knowledge of Python, a strong, very root and very powerful knowledge of Python. Because ultimately, if you want to jump to ML, AI, or data science or data analyst, you should have a very strong hold in Python. Same doubt. I'm very interested in data science, AI, ML, and so I'm learning Python. Of course, you all are on the right track, right path. Yeah. Hope I replied to you all. Anything else? Meantime, answering you all, let's solve the Rubik's Cube. It's keeping my mind busy. I'm just waiting on the live chat. Sorry for replying late. I was very deep down into the conditional statements. Thank you. Thank you, Atharva. Anything else, Rama and Atharva? So, or else we will proceed. Uh, if anyone wants to learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube, also it is based on an algorithm. It's nothing rocket science in this. If you already know, you can comment that we know how to solve it. Okay. If we are done, let's jump on to the another conditional statement, which is Elif. Now, what is the importance of Elif? You have seen I've just commented the above two things. Why? Because again and again I need to use if condition in the conditional statement, of course. But in the same program, I can't use multiple if. If I have 8 or 10 conditions, I can't use it using 8 or 10 if. For example, let me just quickly show you. We can't do this type of coding. This is very wrong. We can't have multiple ifs. So what is the solution? The solution is elif. We can use elif. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Let's now I'm constantly monitoring the live chat. Okay. So, okay. Let's go to the elif part. So how to use elif? For example, I have, if this is very confusing for me, num1 is less than equals to num2. I'm doing two logical things or comparison thing into one if. Let's separate it out with this example only and let's see the power of elif. Okay. So let's have elif, it's simple, ln if. Same num1, and let me remove this equals to from here, and let's have that equals to here, num2, simple, and of course print they both are equal, equal, they both are equal. Okay, the condition is true if it is the num1 is less than num2. If they both are equal, we are printing they both are equal. Else, the condition is false. That means num1 is not less than num2. Hope this point is clear. Okay, our condition is clear. So let's save it. Let me clear the console and run. So in first case, of course, num1 is 3, the num2 is 10. It is less than, of course, 3 is less than 10. So it will ultimately printing the if part. Let's change the value and make it 33, and let's see, it should directly jump on to the else part because 33 is not less than 10. Of course, 33 is not equals to 10, so this both the condition is false and it will directly jump onto the print one. Let's see in our case if it is true or not. Don't forget to save it, enter and see the condition is false. You can see the output. The condition is false. Now let's make them equal and let's see the elif part. The elif part is executed or not. See, they both are equal because I've changed the value to 33 from 10. Can you tell me which mat learning which is used in Python to learn the logic in for loop, while loop, like factorial, sum or number? Of course, after the conditional statement, I'm coming to the looping statement, and there we will sure covering the factorial and the sum of numbers and everything. And it is very simple and basic logic. It's nothing rocket science over there. It's simple maths what you already learned into the schools, of course. So hope LF part is clear. So it's a way of coding. It's a if the different way of coding. What is a different way of coding? In the before example, what I have done uh, two things in one condition which is less than equals to. But now here we are simplifying the things and we are doing into the separate condition. And here the Power of Elif is you can create as much as Elif possible. Unlimited, infinite. You can create infinite Elif. I don't want to just complicate it, so let's have a simple this one, and we will add a simple print, and they both are not equal. Simple. They both are not equal. Simple. Thank you for subscribing. Pro Edits. Not sure what's your real name is, but of course, subscribing here will make you learn. My ultimate motive is to spread knowledge. There is a story why I do this for free or doing live in YouTube for free. When I was in college, so it was very difficult to find right path in IT, of course, in coding and programming. There was not a absolute path or any book that I've gone through. There was a very shortage of the resources in the library and everything. And there is nothing good at the internet also. If you search Python, for example, in my case, it was C, C sharp, C++ when I was in college. So it was very difficult to learn programming, and my friend and I was not sure what we are going through, what we are doing, and what we will be achieving after learning C. Oh, I think my okay. So that's why I'm doing this to have a proper roadmap for you all. So that's why I've started with basic Python. Next, it will be intermediate, and after learning intermediate, we will be jumping on data science. Once you know what is data science is, then we will be going through ML and AI. Of course, AI will be the end part, and that I think it will take 6 to 8 months. But sure, we will going through ML, learning algorithms, creating algorithms. I've created n numbers of algorithms, done n numbers of projects on ML and AI today. I also have patents on my name doing AI projects. So how to go that far? There is a roadmap you need to follow, and of course the consistency in the coding is much required. So let's see the output of this. Clear the console, save it, and let's. So let's bro. I love to code in Python, bro. I create some mini AI like code with fetch, question and answer, pair and give answer. Okay, just rename it. Can we rename it as a chatbot? You just ask question and it will reply and answer is in chatbot. But it's fun. It's good. If you're starting with AI and ML, it's good to create a chatbot. That is the first step you do it. Of course, in Python. And it's not bound to Python. You can do it with Java and some other programming language, but Python makes it much more easier because there is a vast library supporting for MLA and data science in Python. Due to the library support, that's why Python is now super hit programming language. But in web, once you come to the web world is different. The web world is completely on JS, Node.js, React, JS, Angular. It's completely different. So make sure in which path you want to go. Data science, of course, Python. ML, Python. Cyber security, Python. Backend, of course, Python, Java. There are much more, but I suggest Python. And if you are going for the web world, Python is only recommended for creating the APIs and servers. That's it. UI and other things you can be used as JS. Okay. Thank you, Rama. Let's see. Okay, here is a tricky position. We have now many condition over here, like num1 is less than num2. Num1 is equals to num2. Of course, num1 is not equals to num2. So I want you all to comment which printing statement will be executed here. Let's see if your math is mathing or your logic is actually being triggered in your brain. I'm just waiting for your response. What will be the output? Perfect, perfect. Prodits, just ping your real name. You have done a wonderful project, my friend. Perfect. You used the chat. You created a mini chatbot. Of course, JSON because you are dealing with the web. Save the data in JSON. Very good. If possible, you can share that project with us. If possible, you can deploy it and just share the live link, and I will be using that chatbot over here. And we can promote your mini projects. So it will be keep you motivated and charge up to do next level of projects. Okay, anyone answer? The question is, we have num1 as 12, num2 as 33. Which printing statement will be executed? It's as simple as that. No one? Let's wait for a few more seconds. Meantime, we'll solve Rubik's Cube. The white part I've already solved it. Okay, let me answer this. The answer is, of course, if num1 is 12 and num2 is 33, it will execute the if printing statement. Now why? Let's see the output first and then I will be explaining why. See, the condition is true. Because here the condition itself is true and it will be directly printing this. Means the if condition is true, there is no need for the compiler or interpreter, Python as an interpreter. So there no need of interpreter to go ahead in the program. Perfect. Rama, your answer is perfect. A clap for Rama. Perfect. I love your interaction sessions. I love teaching like this because I teach offline. I have 50, 100 of students and they interact, and now you all are interacting in live. I'm loving this. So yes, the actual answer is the condition is true that printing statement will be printing. Why? The reason is the interpreter won't go beyond this. It can't go beyond this because for him, of course, it's not human intelligence. It's a simple programmed. The interpreter is a simple program. It will find the condition. Okay, this condition satisfied. Let's print this and end the program. That's it. I know as a human intelligence, they both are not equal is also a correct answer, but this is also correct, na? Of course, this is also correct. This is also correct. Now let's change it. Let's change it. So let me do it one to one. Now you all answer me. What will be the correct printing statement? And this type of question will be there while you all are giving interviews. This type of mock test will be there. A simple mock test. We are doing it as live as a practice. So num1 is 1 to 1, num2 is 3 3, which printing statement will be executed. Meantime, I will solve the Rubik's Cube. It's fun to solve Rubik's Cube. I have multiple types of Rubik's Cube with next. Shivang, num1 is not equals to num2. Okay. So okay, I've solved the second part also. If you see the second line is also solved and the white part is being solved. Let's save and cross verify the Shivangs. I'm very grateful that you have started this live coding channel, that to live. Thank you, Shivang. And let's check your answer. So they both are not equal. You are perfectly right, Shivang. So first thing first, in if condition, 121 is less than 33. Of course not. Provided it's third one, they are not equal. Perfect, pro. You are also correct. Second one, they both are not equal. Of course, Elif, they both are not equal. The third one, of course, they both are. Sorry, the second one, they both are equal, which is wrong, and the third one is correct. So you both, Shivang and Pro, are absolutely correct. Clap for you both. So I hope now this is fun. Learning conditional statement is fun. If you already know it how it works, elif how it works, and else how it works, let's jump on to the next conditional statement because we are done with this all. I just don't want to spend more time. You can just play around with your, and where in the real time it is used. Of course, it is used. Just a basic example, in real time it is used in login. How you log in? You just enter your username, for example, Gmail, and you enter your password. So there, this if condition can be used. There are other ways also, but for in our case, for current example, I will taking if condition is used. For example, let's take Shivang at the rate gmail.com. If this email exists in database, if this is the if condition. First, Gmail checks you have your email there or not. If it is there, and it checks the password and you are able to log in into your Gmail account, of course. So this is how it works in real time. We use if and of course else, elif, as per our need, as per our application. But yes, in real time, it's being used each and every day, each and every minute, if everyone is coding out there. Of course, let's jump to match. Match case. Oh. So I have a simple example over here is match case. Command is a variable which is holding start a string. Now this is an alternative of if and else. We used to check condition. Yes. So this is alternative of if elif else. If you don't love if and else, you can use match case. Simple. So we will be seeing this example only, and we can have the other example also, but let's understand the basic what is match case. Uh, Thank you, Shivang. My dedication will be 1000 plus more as this type of interaction we will be having, because teaching, I love to teach, but also if you are eager to learn, then I will put my 1000% to make you learn if you are coming and joining the live, of course. And of course, this is my job to make the session interactive and you're getting something out of it and fun loving, because learning is a boring part, of course. When I was at your age, I'm not sure what age you are in, but when I was kiddo, when I was Gen Z at 17, 18, I loved to play. At that time, PUBG and this was not there, but there was a computer games. I love to play those. And I was not that much into studying, but yeah, of course, I was into IoT and coding, and I've created many IoT projects, of course. That time ML and AI and data science and IoT was just an emerging field. Third sem CSC. Wonderful, wonderful. I hope you have already started with your college project, black book and other stuffs. And wishing you luck for your coming sems. Okay, so some back to the topic. Command is a variable which is holding a value of start. Start is a string. Now match, here if you see the match, this is like if. The command is our variable. Now case 1, this is case 1. I'm just naming it because for you all to understand it. So case start, it is matching this start. If this start match our value, then this printing will be printed, means this statement will be printed, which is starting. If it is matching to this case, it will be printing stopping. And if there is no case like else, it will say unknown command. Let's execute this so it will be very much clear to you all what I am explaining over here. Let's comment this out. The shortcut of comment is control and question mark. Remember, control and question mark. This is a shortcut This is a tip for the day. Just remember control plus question, not plus, control and question mark. Simply comment everything you have selected. Just jot down on the index page of your notebook or deep down into your mind. As simple as that. So this is our variable command which holds a value of start. This is match. This is a keyword like we have if, elif and else. This is our variable command, nothing else. Colon is required. There can be an unlimited n number of cases you can create. It's simply like if, elif, 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 else. As simple as that. So the first case is to match the value of, it's not mandatory, just for this example we can have other things over here. So but for the example I'm saying, we have the first case as start and it is matching our value. The second case is stop, which is not matching our value, and the third is else, means it is default case, means nothing match. The start doesn't match, the stop doesn't match, so ultimately this will be printed. Let's save it, clear the console, executed, and you see this start is matching with our case value start. That's why this start is printing. Let's update it to stop, save it. See, the stopping part is executed, means this print is executed. Let's have something else. I will have my name, save it, executed, see unknown command, means the printing statement of default one is printed. Okay, one by one. Rama. So the difference between these two are that the syntax is easier. You can say that. Yes. If you're comfortable with if and else, you can go with that. If you're comfortable with match, you can go with that. But the only thing in other programming languages, and if you see we have numbers, but you can't compare strings together. For example, if I compare my name with your name, and have num1 is less than num2, will if condition will be satisfied? Doesn't make any sense. So for string comparison and other things we use command. It is possible to do string comparison if, but that is a bigger code, and that the logic is different. Now the second is, sir, it reads all condition. Of course, let's take the current example only, Nilesh. The case will try to match the value of command, which is of course Nilesh, and it go on. If it doesn't match, if it will be go on to the stop, it doesn't match. Of course, there is no Nilesh in the case, so by default, it ultimately print the default case. Simple. It's same like if and else. If this condition is not satisfied, if this is not satisfied, this is not satisfied, it will be ultimately leading to the else part. Of course. So now let's try this with numbers. Let's have 10. It will be much. Let's have 3 in place. 10 will be much more. I will be having 1. Will have 2. Need to add the case 3 also. 3. Let's have printing anything in the printing statement. Don't go with the words. Just go with the flow. I've learned this from Gen Z only. Go with the flow. Okay, let's clear the screen. And the output will be, just waiting for you all, the output will be, meantime we'll solve the Rubik's cube. The yellow part is also solved, the below part is solved, the rest 2 lines is being solved. Now the thing remained is the side edges. Meantime you all need to tell me the output. The command is equals to 3, which printing statement it will be printing. Meantime I will solve the Rubik's cube. Only single thing is remaining. Let's solve it. And of course, I have learned this by heart, so I don't need to see the Rubik's Cube to solve it. It's for me, it's simple. Rama. Okay, Rama has answered the question, so let's execute and see the correct answer. Of course, Rama, you're right. Breaking will be the output. So I have just shown you two things. First, if it is a string value, holding the command is holding the string value, and of course the command is a variable name. You can have any name for the variables. So we have seen for both the things, for numbers also, and for, of course, the variable also. So let me solve quickly, and voila, I don't need to see the Rubik's also. It is solved. All the part. Let's go one by one. White, orange, blue, red, green, and yellow. Done. So with that, we are done with the match conditional statement also. Now let's do a short Q&A. If you have any doubt regarding if, elif, else, and match, you can ask, or we can take a short 5 to 10 minutes break and come back. It's completely on you all. If you don't want to have a short break, it's fine for me. I can continue. Let's ping in the comments and let's do it. And if still match is not clear, we can see the other example also. Waiting for you all replies. Because the next thing is the loop. We have three types of loop in Python. Is there a break statement after the print? You're talking about match or if, because there is no breaking statement. Okay, you mean to say how it colon and semicolon for which purpose, sir? Okay, in Python, okay, let me answer the. Okay, let me answer the okay, Shivang codes. In case how cases works. So you can add break statement, because in today's life we will be also seeing the continue and break. So I think he knows programming pretty well. That's why he is asking this question. Is there any break statement? So how in Python it works? It's by default added a break statement. Means I have only one printing statement in case one. Let's take an example. Then I will be answering the second colon and semicolon one. So in this case, what Python does is Python is an interpreter language. First, you need to understand this, not a compiler language. There is a difference between compiler and interpreter. Interpreter goes line by line, means it will go on line number 28, then go on to the line number 29, go on line number 30, 231, and etc. So what interpreter is, if you have 10 lines of code, it will go and run 10 lines of code. Of course, if you have only 3 lines of code, it will stop on 3. So that's why I'm not using break over here, because after that print we don't have anything inside our case 1, case 2, and case 3. So it will by default break that block of code. That block of code means that case 1 and come out of it. As simple as that. But in other programming language like C, C++, we need to use break in switch cases, because there C, C++, Java has switch cases, and here we have match cases. It's just a naming thing, nothing else. I hope this answer your question, Shivang, why we don't use break over here. But of course, we will seeing an example and learning the break in Python after loop. Now, colon and semicolon for which purpose, sir? Okay, colon and semicolon. So this is a basic syntax in Python to let the compiler know now my if condition is been done or my match condition is done. For example, here let's take this one. Let me copy this. If you see this if, here this colon means my condition is done. Why? Because I can have multiple conditions over here in this way without using elif. Okay, Shivanshi, you're clear. So in this case, I can also have this. So this colon for Python interpreter is means the condition is done. The user or us, the developer, which is writing the code, this is the conditions. After colon, it will start executing the things inside if the condition is true. So this is the importance of colon in Python. Now semicolon, we don't have semicolon in Python. We have, but we don't use it. Where to use it in Python, we will see into the data things. But in semicolon, where to you have I think you all learn about C. If you have learned about C, Java, C++, JS, there semicolon means full stop. So there is a difference, huge difference for colon and semicolon and where to use it. Python doesn't have a semicolon. C, C++, Java and JS have a semicolon. That means full stop. Means this line is done. In English we have full stop means that line is done. In programming semicolon means full stop. And colon here that means the interpreter knows a condition is done. Now let's jump on to the next statement of if or elif or others. Hope this is clear. Match in Python same as switch in C? Yes, provided. Which one is better, C or Python? Because C use semicolon and Python have syntax indent. Okay, so it's depend on what you want to achieve. Everything is good, but what you want to achieve, that depends on that. For example, uh, you like fruit cake or sweet cake, which is made up of sugar, and fruit cake, of course, it is also have a sugar, but it have fruits in it. So what's the difference over here is everything has syntax. Of course, C also have a syntax. You can't have you can't just ignore the curly braces or void main and everything in C. Here in Python, you can't avoid indentations. So the sugar is required, but it's up to you what you want to achieve. Well, of course, you want to create games or desktop applications. What is desktop application? This PPT, Microsoft PPT I'm using, this is in desktop application. This is coded in C. Any desktop applications, not now, but of course many of them are users. Like I think PUBG is also coded in C, mobile applications also. So C is very powerful programming language, but it is the logic in C is also very difficult. If you go beyond 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs lines of code to create something, of course, creating games and desktop application won't be done in 200 or 300 lines of code. There will be a lakhs or a millions or billions of lines of code. Then C is good. But if you want to achieve something related to datas, because Python can handle big O data, means very vast amount of data Python can easily handle. That's why if you're going to the data world, ML and AI is of course based on data only. The data science is of course based on data, cyber security. You can go with Python. So everything is good, but it depends on what you want to achieve from it, through it. You give the notes in PDF. For this all, I can share the PPT and my app.py with you all if you want. I can share the drive link. PUBG code in C++. Yes. Because in previous, I think on my Insta page I have posted one post that PUBG is coded in C++. I'm long back, I think 2021 or 2022, because that type of complex game can only be handled in C or C++. Why? Simple. My first live for the Python was Python is an English written statement. For us, it is easier to understand, but for the machine, for interpreter, it is difficult to understand. What is happening behind the scene is this block of code, this if num1 is less than num2, for us it is English, but it is behind the scene getting interpreted and converted into machine learning code. And C is machine readable code. If you know the features, 10 features of C, it is machine readable code. It's very easy for machines. C++ is very fast also. Why it is very fast? The answer is because of OOPS. What is OOPS? Object oriented programming. Of course, and there is one more reason to it, and I want you all to answer that. Okay, so from this, I'm sure that you all don't want a break. Let's jump onto the looping statement. If the conditional is done, I think you all, that is one of the example, and your answer is also correct, Shivang. Because of that, there are more reasons why C++ is used for game designing. Okay, let's jump onto the PPT. Give me 2 minutes, I will be back. Let me grab my water bottle. Meantime, yes, Python also has all programming language have OOP concept, leaving C. Sir, in this concept, I have another doubt. I want to execute all condition first true means it stop, but the all condition are true means it execute all. How to execute of the code, sir? In match case, you are asking? Desi Gyan. You all have a wonderful names. If I pronounce it right, Desigan, Desi Gyan. Sir, in this concept, I have another doubt. Of course, the doubt is, but there are condition are true means it execute out. See, it depends on totally depends on the condition you are using. In match case, it's simple. The start will match the case start. It will only execute that. All type, sir. All type. In cases, it's not possible. In cases, if I change this command equals to start into one conditions, and let's see what is the condition. Okay. So condition is we will have two variables. This is a bit complex. Just follow me up. Go through my words. Num1 has 10. Num2 has 15. I will add those two and store it into the command. Means 10 plus 15, which is 25. So now command is holding num1 plus num2. Num1 is num2 are the variables. Now I will create the cases 1 to 25, of course, with the default. Then only the 25th one will be executed. That's what a match case is, the exact match. But what you want to try to do it, if you want to execute multiple correct statement, then you need to go to the if else, but the condition should be appropriate. You can't have num1 is greater than num2 and logic means you're using and logic at the same time you want num2 should be less than num1. It can't be at the same time. I can't be with if I'm comparing myself with my dad, for example, and you are saying I'm bigger than my dad and the same time I'm smaller than my dad. It's not possible. Of course, either one will be true. We can't have all the statement true. Yeah, pro edits. It's you're straightforward, but my thing over here is that concept should be clear. Not just for this example, if any type of example. Okay, let's jump on to loops. So there are three types of loop. I'm sure if you are all know about the C, you should also know about the while loop, for loop, and range. So before starting with loops, I just want you all to answer which is the most powerful loop. Fast, 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 fast. Which is most powerful loop? Just answer my. It's good to be wrong, you know. It's good to be wrong. If you are wrong, you will learn something. If you are right, we will clap for you. As simple as that. But if you want to learn something, you need to be wrong. Not always, but you should give a try. Should always give a try. So which is the most powerful loop? Okay, for Shivang, it's while loop. For ProEdit, it's okay. It's just providing me the Python code only. For loop, I'm just considering for ProEdit, it's for, and for Shivang, it's while. Okay, the answer is of course not in Python, but in other programming language, it's for loop. Why? Let me give you a quick explanation. What is the basic things required for loops? There are three things required for loop. One, let me also type it on the screen. The first one is initialization. I called it as init. The second one is condition. And the third one is you all know increment if you all already learning about C, and decrement. These are the condition required for any type of loops. What? Initialization, condition, increment or decrement. Perfect? Yes. Perfect. Increment or decrement. Shivang. So in while loop, you need to have one variable which is your initializer. For example, we have 3 at a place. For example, like num1 equals to 3. Simple. I'm not going through directly the Python while. I'm going through conditional check, break and continue, of course. I'm going through other programming language while over here. Then we will jump onto the Python one. The condition is num1 less than, let's see, 6, and we have curly braces in C, C++, Java. Let's have simple printf if you learn C. Simple, let's print true. Then where will be the increment and decrement? Inside while or outside while? It's very basic question because Here I'm dealing with all programmers who are on first year or second year, so I think you already learned about C. Just think like this way, if I have the increment inside while, what will happen? If we have increment outside while, what will happen? While loop, the condition execute until the condition will reach true. Is correct, sir? Inside, inside, inside. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And of course, one thing I have forgotten, this you all didn't forget in C, that is semicolon. Because now I am habitual for Python, that's why I just forgot the semicolon. But in C, it is much more required. Okay, the question is while loop, the condition execute until the condition will reach the true. It is correct. That I will be explaining in few seconds. Just give me a few seconds. Bear with me. So num1 is starting with 3. So value of num1 is 3. This is satisfied. Of course, 3 is less than 6. This true will be printed. TRU will be printed. Num1 plus plus means the value of 3 will always increased by plus 1. That will be 4. Now again this while loop will execute and 4 is less than 6. That is true. If you use outside, then it will become infinite. That you all need to try and just, and I already know the answer, but I just want you all to go and try that. Of course, you also try semicolon over here. Just one suggestion from my side. Have this basic code and have semicolon at the end of your condition, and your laptop will be doomed. Then you need to hard reset your laptop. Okay, back to the coming back to this loop. So num1 value with the help of this num1 plus plus will be 4. The condition is of course 4 is less than 6 true. Again it will print true. Now again it will have num1, the value will be 5. 5 is less than 6. Of course it will be true. Now this is for 3. I just want you all to answer what will be the value of num1 now. It will not become infinite. What will be the value of num1 after this true 5? Because num1 is 5 less than 6. Of course the condition is true. After that, will num1, this while loop will execute or not, and what will be the value of, sorry, let me remove the mouse from there, num1. In C there is also a do while loop. Of course there is a do while loop. Why it is there, I will be explaining to you all. Just answer my question. If its question is not clear, let me repeat myself. First thing first, up till you got the 3, 4, 5, I think this is clear. Now, will sixth time this while loop will executing, and what will be the value of num1? The final value of num1 is 5 or 6. Final value of num1 is 5 or 6. Error or false? No. The output will be, if nobody knows the answer, let I will be giving the output. Let's wait for few seconds. I'm just giving you few more minutes to think on it. First time it looped, the value of num1 was 3. Okay. This again says the last value of num1 will be 5. Okay. Perfect. Pro edit answer was correct, so clap for pro edit, and also Shivang's answer were perfect, so there is a clap for you both. Perfect. Why? This is what I was asking. The increment should be inside or outside. If it is inside, then let's take an example and understand it slowly if you all not got it. So simple. Now num1 is 5. 5 is less than 6. That is true. That's why this true will be printed. And then the value of num1 will increase because this increment is inside this loop. So if the condition is true, anything inside the loop will be executed, of course. So this increment is inside the loop. So 5 will become 6. And then again the num1 will check the condition. Of course, the compiler, the C has a compiler. So compiler will check 6 is less than 6. Of course not. And there our program will stop. So the final value of num1 will be 6. But we have 3 trues printed on our screen. But if this num1, if you change this num1 outside the while loop, then the value of num1 will be 5 and it won't be incremented to 6. You got it? The difference of increment inside the loop and outside the loop. If this concept is clear, that's why the while loop is very much complicated, because if you forget to initiate the value, or you have a wrong condition, or you falsely placed your increment or decrement, then your loop is in very bad condition, because you don't know what is going on with your loop. A simple 3 4 lines of code. Sir, but the condition is not less than or equals to 6. Then how we take 6? See, okay, I did understand how putting increment outside the place. Okay, 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 okay. One by one, one by one. There is a confusion. Let's make sure we don't get confused. See, we are talking about two things over here. First thing, condition. The condition is true, then only it will be printing this true. I'm talking with Desi can. So this, I didn't get how increment out does. Okay, for that I need to open C program and then execute and explain it to you now. But I just want you all to concentrate over first this thing. Okay, once it is 3, this true will be printed. Then this num1 plus, so it will get 4. Then it is 4, this will printed, and then value becomes 5. Let's remove this. Now it will go inside this, check the value. Of course, 5 is less than 6. It is true. It will print true. Then the value of num1, because of this increment is inside, will become 6, and that program will stop. Understanding? First it is printing the true, then it is incrementing the value. That is both not being executed at the same time. Hope this is clear. Just use num1 less than 7. Now if you want to, that is changing the condition provided. How increment out does. Okay, we will see that also. You all making me to jump from Python to C now. Okay, if this point is clear, I hope Desi Gyan, the condition is not less than or equals to, it's 6. It's not about the condition. It's not about the condition. Here, once it is 6, at time of the num1 is 6, this is not executing. But the value of the num1 has become 6. Simple, you have 3 trues. If you change the condition to 7, then you will have 4 trues. You didn't get the infinite loop thing. Okay, this again. It's simple. Just have the semicolon and the conditions. You just use a semicolon at the end of the condition. It will be stuck in the infinite loop. Why it is stuck in the infinite loop? Because the number is 3, it is less than 7, and the C programs get the full stop. Means at that time it is always true. 3 is less than 7 and the compiler find a full stop. At that time the condition is always true. Simple. If you got this, let me just remove all this unnecessary thing. And coming back to the topic, why for loop is most powerful loop? It's a simple basic example in first year of your engineering or any other courses you are, because we all have everything in place. This is very simple basic example, very very depth example to it. I can't do it in live. I will create a separate shot about it. The difference between while loop and for loop and why for loop is clear. Okay, so here usually you see I in your college. So let's have I, let's say an example, and the condition is I should be less than, let's have 6, the same thing, and semicolon I plus plus, I minus minus, or plus plus I minus minus I, it's same thing. As simple as that. Simple, this is a for loop, we have everything in the place. Again, you want to check the power of your system, just have semicolon at the end of your condition and your laptop will be doomed. So don't try it at home. Don't try it with your own laptop. Try it with some other laptops, but not your personal one. Okay, got it? Simple. This was the thing in C. Now let's jump into the Python while and for loop, which is a bit different. Here, the simple concept was to learn about what is while, what is for. But again, what are this while, do while, or for, and range in Python? They are loops. What is loop? So one thing repeating itself again and again, again and again, again and again, up till the condition is right. That is known as loop. Got the definition? So if not, I can repeat myself. If yes, then we're good to go. Let's have a while loop example in Python. So because Python is that one programming language that we can play around with strings, we can use strings in loops. So let me just first start with a simple one which you all aware of, while, which is initialization I, because you have already seen I'm initting it with 1. In the previous example I've initted with 3, while I is less than 6. Here the syntax is different. Colon is required. I'm printing simply I, and loops are somewhat somewhat difficult, not that much difficult. You can predict the answer. If you're not aware of what I'm doing over here, just ask me right away, or else I can do one thing. Let me just have this on place. This simply means line number 245 explanation is I equals to I plus 1. This means whatever value I is holding, we are adding 1 to it and again storing it into the I. For example, right now in our example, I value is 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. Again, we are storing that 2 value inside that variable. Means we are overwriting the value of same variable. Hope this is clear. And our while loop is done. It's very simple in Python. It's very complex in C and C++, Java, curly braces, this, that, whatsoever. Leave it. Let's clear the console and see the output. Of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be the output. So yeah, 1 is there. I hope it is not visible. I know it is not visible. Let me. I think this is visible now. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Simple. Everyone got it? Just give me a thumbs up, or you got it. Just type in the comment section, got it. So we can jump on to for, or we can try more different or difficult example with while. What you want, you just type it right away, comment it right away, and we will be trying it right away, right now. If this you got it, I think other things also you will let me. I will be using break in next one. With if, if you want to complicate it, let's add if statement to this. I will add breaking statement to this, and then see. Okay, I think this simple example you all got it. Let's complicate this. How to complicate this? I will be adding conditional statement in the looping statement. So if the conditional statement I just want to skip one number, so I equals to I want to skip 2 in just an example. I want to skip 2 and we'll be using break. Why I use break over here? I will be giving you explanation. Just bear with me. So now this increment won't come over here because of course after my condition and everything we will be increasing the ith value, and this all is inside while. How I know it? Due to indentation. This print is inside while, this if is also inside while, this break is inside if, and of course this incrementation, this I is inside while. So you just need to make sure what is inside what if you are doing a bit complex code. So let's save it, clear the console, executed, and see what is the output. Only 1 and 2. Why it is the output only 1 and 2? If you all got it, why it stopped at 2, it's good. If not, you can also find the logic behind the while loop by asking the iteration trace table. I use it for my guidance. Yes, you can use it. It's completely on you from where you are learning. Of course, it will execute it too. If I think Desi Gun you got it. If not, others, if not, I will be explaining to you all. Simple. I value is 1. And here in while, of course, while is loop, it will execute up till the condition is satisfied. Means I value is 1 initially and 1 is less than 6, which is true. Then it will print I, means 1. Then it will check if I is equals to 2. 1 is equals to 2. No. Then it will go on to increment. Means in increment we have I plus equals to 1. That is I equals to I plus 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. Now ith value is, means I value is 2. Again while loop. 2 is less than 6. Of course it is less than 6. So it will print 2. Now it will check the if condition. In if condition it says 2 is equals to 2. This condition satisfied. Once the condition is satisfied, it will execute anything inside if, and we have breaking statement. We have break inside it. So this break is used inside a loop or inside any conditional statement, if, elif, or match if you want to use in match. So it will break the entire loop and come outside of everything. That's why it is stopped at 2. As simple as that. Hope you all got it. If you want to increase it, let's go to 3. It will stop at 3. If you change this condition less than, greater than, not equal, it will execute differently. You can go and try this on offline. If this is clear, let's jump onto another example. And I hope this is clear. Another example is continue one, because we have seen break. Let's see continue. Just give me a thumbs up. You understand this one. Why it stopped at 1 and 2. Meantime, I will code continue one. Uh, 3 or let's start with 1 only. Let's see. Same example. The condition will also keep the same. So for you all to compare it, it will much more easier. Okay, let me switch to live chat. Okay, means you all got that why we are using break, why it stop and one two. Let's see for continue also. It's very simple. If you all got about break, you will all get about the, of course, continue one also. Here we are doing increment right here only. of course. And if I is equals to same condition, we have 3, then I want to continue, and then I will be printing. And printing statement, of course, it should be outside if, because I just want to print everything inside what is going inside the loop. Let's save it and see some different output. See, the output is 1, 2, 3, then again 2, 4, 5, 6. What is this? What is this? So why this 1 and 2 have came? It is above 1. Let me just comment this all so you won't get confused from where that 1 to n coming. Let's save this one. Clear the console. Again, you see 2, 4, 5, 6. The 1 and 2 is missing. Now I want you all to answer why 1 and 2 is missing. As simple as that. Simple question and simple answer. Why 1, sorry, 1 is missing. 2, 4, 5, 6 and 3 is missing. 1 and 3 is missing. My bad. 1 and 3 is missing. Why that so? Meantime, it's my internet is slow or something. Okay. You all got the question? Why 1 and 3 is missing over here? Anybody can answer? Atharva, can you take the pyramid pattern? Can you take the pyramid pattern in while loop? Of course, I've already took the pyramid and other pattern also. Of course, I have already done how to print your letter, your name using star in this all logic. There is one playlist in my channel. You can go through that, and in that I've explained in very detailed level creating rows and columns, how this for loop and condition, where to increment, where to decrement, from why I will be starting from 0 or where I will be starting with 10. This all I've already covered in my past, I think past few years videos. I will be sharing that link. Let me just quickly have those over here. YouTube, where is YouTube? YouTube. It's, and once you got that video, you get any, you can print any type of pattern. Any type of pattern. Where is my channel? Here it is. Playlist. Inside playlist. In extra class. I think in extra class I've already, yes. In extra class, I used to take extra class offline, and the class name was Fools. Fools, because the full form of Fools was Fast Optimize Learning, and here I just created as an online learning. In that, I will be sharing that link. Let me quickly grab that and paste here. Yes. If you all have those doubt, uh, how to print different type of patterns, in this video I've explained in very depth using Python only, of course using Python, how to print A, B, C, D, your name, entire name, letters, pyramid, diamond, stars, XYZ. I don't remember because that video is too old. You can go with that video how to print those, and you will be of course learning everything from those video. Coming back to the topic, why it is skipping 1. First thing first, let's understand I equals to 1. While I is less than 6 means 1 is less than 6. That is true. It will go inside the while loop. Then 1 plus equals to 1. Here we are incrementing the value of I. before printing only we are incrementing the value of I. The value of I was 1, and because of this increment the value becomes 2. Now it will come to line number 252, which is if condition. If I equals to 3, in our case 2, I value is 2. 2 is not equals to 3, it won't go inside that, of course, if condition, and it will print, it will jump onto the print one, which is line 254, this one, and it will print 2. Of course, then again while loop will execute. Didn't understand here. Okay, let's start again. I'm not sure I'm directly live or not. Let me just hold for a few seconds, because I'm not sure I'm there is in live session there is a delay of 30 seconds or 20 seconds, I think, because what I'm teaching, and in live I think you all get the previous things. Okay, again I equals to 1, this is clear. We will go very slowly. Here in the condition, our initial value of I is 1 only, and 1 is less than 6. Of course it is less than 6. Because of this it will enter the while loop. Now here we have increment statement. We don't have any printing statement on line number 251. So here, due to increment statement, the value of I will become 2. Here only we are incrementing it, so value of I become 2. Now on the next line it will check for if condition, and the condition is true. The condition is 2 is equals to 3. Is this true? Of course, mathematically it is completely wrong. So if the condition is wrong, will our interpreter will go inside the if? No, of course not. It will go directly to print, and here our value of I is 2 only. Here the value of I was 2, so that's why the 2 is coming. Now the loop didn't end, it will start looping again. It will go here. Now the value of I is 2. Let's remove this all. Let's remove this all. 2 is printed. This you got it, I think. Now 2, the 2 is less than 6. Of course, it is true. The condition is true. 2 is less than 6. It will come over here. I plus 1 equals to I. Of course, that 2 will become 3 over here. The condition is 3 is equals to 3, which is true. Just one question, please answer this. So this is day 3. Till when we will go, I mean, do we go deep in Python upcoming section? Of course, this is 5-day session up till GUI, creating UI, GUI, graphical user interface using Python. Up till there, I will be doing the live session. And then I will have 1 week break for you all to revise everything from start up till end. And what are the topics? I've already have those topic in the description. Of course, I have all those topics in the description for this 5-day live. Then we will have 1 week break. After that 1 week, I will be jumping into the intermediate to advanced Python, which is NumPy, Keras, and everything, which will, of course, we will entering into the domain of data science, ML, and AI. Hope Shivang, this is clear to you, and Rama, I think now you got it. Of course. Done. So no need to explain further. Here the condition is true, so it will go inside. Can you use my idea in this code that ChatGPT iteration trace table now? Trace table, trace table. Can we do at the end? Because in if I start doing something else in middle, other are concentrating on learning the while and understanding the condition and how we can use the conditional statement with looping statement, because this basic, the strong basic is very much important. Otherwise, sure, we will do this at very end. if there is no problem, because I just don't want others to get distracted from something to something. Okay. So this continue break will break entire program, not break entire program. It will just break this if and of course the while. But here continue means it will start continuing again. What continuing again? Not printing. It will continue means it again start the looping continue. So that's why the 3 is not being printed, because that interpreter never landed on print. This continue makes that while loop run again with the I value of 3 now. So again this increment there, it will convert it to 4. It will check the condition. Of course 4 is not equals to 3. Then it will print. So now 4, and same for 5 and 6. Hope this is, now you all got the point. We can also use Python debugger for that. Yes, if you know how to enable Python debugger in VS Code, or you are using other text editors. Hope this continue and while works for you all and you all understand. Just thumbs up or yes in the chat, and then I can continue with the other things. Okay. And also in similar way, I've used if. You can use elif, else, match, anything inside while loop. It's all depending on the use cases and how far you want to make this complicated. We are just here learning the basic simple concept of while, but you can make it as much as complicated you want. Okay, let's continue. Let's jump onto the for loop. Okay, 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 okay. Got it. Got it. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Thanks for responding. Let's jump to for loop and let me uh, comment while loop. So in while loop we have played with numbers, but as I already told in this live only, we can play with string also. At that playing with the string, we will be seeing here. Let's have programs. I just want to have a short name. I was going with programming languages, but I just want to have short name. So box bracket means I'm creating a list. Of course, in wherever in Python you see box bracket, directly it should hit your mind. It is list. I'm creating a list. Let's have C in place, comma, C plus plus, comma, Python, comma, let's have Java. Of course, let's have JavaScript. I'm lazy to type, so it will be a JS. Now for loop. The for loop which we have already seen in above example, just okay, I'll just remove that. Anyways, it was incrementation, condition, initialization, this all, but here in Python it's as simple as this. For pro means programming language, but before that let's use one variable. So I want to use lang as a variable. I just don't want to complicate. Let's use I only. For I in pro, colon, simply print I. As simple as that. Save it. Let's clear the console. It will print Python, C, C++, Java, JS one by one. Simple. It is printing Python, C, C++, Java, JS one by one. As simple as that. So what happened here is there is nothing initialization, increment, this and that. Why? In string we don't need to increment anything. You can't increment string. You can increment numbers 1, 2, 3, decrement 3, 2, 1. You can't increment strings. So in Python, for loop is very powerful because it can manipulate string. We can play around with strings. Here I have one list. List name is pro. Inside we have 5 programming language. Again, for loop, for iteration, I've created one new variable which is I, and I in pro means I will iterate over pro, which is our list, one by one. So printing I means I became Python, it's holding the value of Python, and then we are printing it, so Python is printed. Then this loop goes on up till when it will goes on. So why we use list? You can use any other collections. If you remember my previous life, we have multiple types of collection. List. If you do not use collection, what will happen? Let me just list, dictionary, tuple. These are our collections. Let me create pro one. And if we have Python over here, and let's have s, what will be the, sorry, pro one, what will be the output? The output will be Python, one by one. See, simple. The output is P, then Y, then T, then H. Now this I is not holding the value of string itself. It is holding a single character of the entire string. Instead of bracket, why we use list? Which bracket you are talking about? This brackets, this box bracket. This box bracket is making that pro as a list. That's why it is holding so many lists. I'm not sure you are clear with the concept of list or not, but this is how we create list in Python. In other programming language, you call it as array. Python also has an array which is not similar to list. That array will be learning in data science, because here right now, or else when we will learn NumPy, in NumPy array we will be utilizing there. But right now it is list, it is not an array first of all. And if you don't use list, you use simple normal string, then the output will be this. I will be holding single characters of your variable. Still, instead of bracket, why we use list, sir? Can you rephrase your question? I'm not getting it. Okay, you got it. That's the point. Okay, done. So this is, but yeah, of course, that doing it with a single Python will be much more hard to understand for you all. That's why I went through the list so we can directly understand. Oh, the first value I is becoming the first value, then I is holding the second value, third value, means I is iterating. As simple as that. Simple. Also, a quick little question: is DSA necessary for learning in this field of ML and AI? DSA. Okay, first of all, DSA, what you are learning in DSA? It's the simple linked list, doubly linked list, and bubble sort, this all. Actually, that is not a DSA. That is just a very simplified few algorithms you all are learning in C++ or Java or Python. As simple as that. If you really want to learn DSA, which is of course required in ML and AI, because what is AI? What is ML? First, we need to understand, and I just don't want to jump into AI/ML right now. But of course, algorithms are important, because ultimately there is a role called AI scientist. What is the role of AI scientist? To create an algorithms which you all be using as in machine learning engineers. For example, like you all talking about that maths is important in ML and AI, but how mathematics is being used in the NumPy library and you are utilizing in the code. Someone has written that code, someone has written that logic, someone has created that algorithms. For example, if you are doing image processing and anything, you just import keras, and inside keras you have n numbers of import the keras library, you have a number of methods or functions for image processing. Who is writing those things? AI scientist is writing those things. AI scientist is creating those things. What creating? That deep algorithms, that huge algorithm, creating an algebraic or any other trigonometric integration derivatives, mathematics equations into programs. That is a job of AI scientist. Hope that questions you all are very much clear with that. That's why I don't want to jump into AI and ML because that is not that easy. On YouTube or that there are many free courses, you will understand what is ML and AI. But what actually that means, I'm not sure how much educated people on the YouTube or any other platform are teaching this. But I am working as an AI scientist and full stack cloud engineer, so I'm much aware, and as I'm working in this domain, I'm much more clear on the concept. I've done masters also on this, and I have 3 patents on my AI projects. So this is not very simple that you learn maths, you learn Python, advanced Python, you learn Jupyter, and done. You can create anything you want. It's not that simple. You just pick one real-time problem and try to solve it with programming. You don't need a ML and AI. You can solve it through the APIs, the backend code, and simple. With that strategy, you can go to ML and AI. What is ML? A machine which is automatically working on its own is ML. That is not AI. There is a difference between ML and AI. People get confused that automation is AI. Automation is not an AI. A machine is doing same work repeatedly. It's not an AI. Thank you for the compliment. So there is much more difference between ML and AI that people out there are getting confused that this thing is working on its own. It's AI. Of course not. That is automation. Anything working on its own and doing the same task again and again is known as automation, which can be achieved through ML, not AI. We need to know basic mathematics only for this ML role, not need to know the deep level. Yes, basic maths, basic simply. In maths also specifically stats. You need to know statistics and of course mean, median, mode and basic algebra. That's it. I think mean, median, mode we have learned in 5th or 6th grade. You all also. Statistics we have all learned in 6 and 7. All type of graphs, stats, how to read stats, plot graph. And simple algebra. What is algebra? Addition, subtraction, multiplication is also part of algebraic expressions. So this all basic things you need to know. I have 2 friends in Bangalore. They are data scientists. They work for a very big company. If you all want, I can do and podcast with them that you all get aware of how to get into the data science field if you all want. Teaching that leave it to my end. I will just create a roadmap and teach you everything, every software, every knowledge you want. But if you want that exposure from an industry expert, I can arrange those things for you all too. Okay, coming back to the for loop, or else this stream will become endless and we can go on talking on the various things. Sure, okay. We'll try to arrange one. Sure. We'll definitely I will try those. They are my friends. They are my juniors. I just need to ping them. But of course, we are industry expert. We need to uh, check the schedules of others also. And of course, the Diwali is coming, so that's why I was busy and not doing live for I think more than 1 week. Renovation and other things are going on at my home, and I think hope everyone is ready for the Diwali. So that's why this day 3 is so late. Jumping onto the for loop. So this is very much easy in Python, the for loop. Add a few complexity to it. Let's add if condition inside for loop. So again, if I is equals to, let's say, Java, and I will have break over here. What will be the output? Anyone? It's okay if you are wrong. That's how we will learn it. It's okay if we do mistakes. Error. Now there won't be any error. Rama. True. Uh, uh, of course, we have on a printing statement on line number 258, so it will print something. Just just make your mind a dry compiler or interpreter before running the code. You just make a habit of doing this. I always while my learning days, I make this habit of doing it before I just code it. For I in pro means true. Of course, here true or false doesn't matter because we are dealing with the strings, of course. So I will always go inside pro. JS will not be printed. Python, C, C++. Okay. You both, Rama and Shivang, and I think Desi Gyan and others also are using your try compiler. What is try compiler? Just going through the code and running and generating an output inside your mind itself. Just have a practice to do so. And let's clear the console and let's verify your answers. See, Python, C, C++, and Java. So Rama, you're perfectly correct. JS will not be printed, so clap for Rama. Why so? Okay, let me quickly explain it. First thing first, I will go inside Pro, so I will go inside this list and it will find Python. There is a printing statement, it will print Python. Clear. I think this is very much clear to everyone. Then second, it will come to if an I is holding a value of Python, Python is equals to Java. No, the condition is not satisfied. That's why this break won't work. It will again go into the loop and then I will iterate to C. Then same thing, C will printed, come on the if C is equals to Java. This is not true, break won't work, go to C++, C++ will printed, again C++ is not equals to Java, again come to Java. And now I is Java, we have printing before our if, so Java will be printed and then Java equals to Java. This condition is satisfied. Then if it is satisfied, of course it will go inside if, and once it is go inside if, that interpreter will find break, and then this if and for will break, means it will stop executing. That's why JS won't be printed. Of course, Rama is correct. Next time we will give a pointing system. Those who are answers very correct question, we will give a points to them, and ultimately once every I think the whole session, like up till DS, if you are joining, be there with me up till DS or advanced Python, and we will collect all those points at one place in Excel, and those who have the most point, I will be doing a giveaway, a gaming mouse, gaming keyboard, or anything from my side to be very attentive and logically correct, just to motivate you all to do this. Okay, I think everyone got this. Yes, you can just give a thumbs up. No, I can re-explain to you all. I was getting one call. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, quick thumbs up if you all got it. Why JS was not printed and why Java has been printed. Okay, okay, okay. Desigan done. Others, I'm waiting for others. If what will happen if I just change the position of print and if, what will happen then? Got it. Love your explanation. Thank you. If I just replace or interchange this now, what will happen? Now the output will be simple. What Shivang has already done, already commented. Python, C, C++. Java will not. From Java, nothing will be printed. Simple. So it is the lines where we are printing anything, and this is the only logic which is applicable for the pyramid, stars, and everything. Simple. So the link I have pasted in the chat, just go through that. You can print anything, you can create anything, you can create your face also if you map it in maths. Okay, let's go to the continue one now. Simple. In this example, let me have, okay, let's change it to continue. Now what will be the output? Simple. Now I think everybody is clear with this concept. Break, continue, if, for. So simple. You can just comment. Just take few seconds, think it, and just you all can comment. It is very simple. Of course, you don't need to think up till C++. I'm just giving you the hint. Up till C++, it will print everything. Yes. Python, C, C++. You just need to focus on Java. Will it print Java? Will it print JS? Simple. Programming and logic is very simple. Okay, ProEdits has responded Python, C, C++, JS. Okay, and just wait for the others' answers too, and then we will verify it. Today is Friday. Okay. Tomorrow you all have college or it's holiday for you all? Okay, meantime others are thinking, should I? Okay, Shivanko till JS. No, it will skip Java. Okay, and print others. Okay. Okay, let's see the output and then I will be explaining to you all. See, it printed Python, C, C++, Java, and JS. Everything. So Shivang code it okay. He first stated till JS, then changes. Okay, half day. So Shivang, you were correct. So clap for you. And yeah, half day. Okay, half day college. It's second Saturday holiday for. Wonderful. Which colleges you are going? I'm eager to know now. Because for me, when I was in college, there was no holiday plus practical from 9 to 6. I was there in college with practicals and the thing. It was 9 to 7 or 7:30. You all are very lucky. Half day and second Saturday holiday. Yeah, it's college or bank. Okay. So now, Shivang was correct up till JS and pro edits. I will be explaining to you why it won't skip. No, it will skip Java and print. Okay. So this is our list. Now for I in pro. So I will become Python, of course. VTU. Oh, I don't want to brag it, but okay. Uh, I studied in IIT. So this is not a bragging. Of course, I've studied in that because I usually don't say this in office, and in Bangalore I used to stay in PG, so at that time I didn't mention my college name. Now don't ask me which one. Okay, for I in Pro, first thing is Python. Of course, it will print Python. If I is equals to Java, we are saying is continue. Yes, I understand because you give print before continue statement. Of course, yes, that's it. If everybody is clear, I will continue or else I will continue explaining. Up till C++, I think everyone is clear, it will print. Now, Java will be printed because it is before. Then here it will come Java is equals to Java and the condition satisfy, and then we are saying continue, don't break it, continue the loop. So it will go again and then JS will be printed. That's why up till Python JS it will printed, and perfectly Shivang has answered that. Yes, next topic. You are on very high mode. Yes, go, go, go. Yes, clear. Okay, I have few very simple examples here, but I just don't want to go through that simple and basic examples. Okay, let me cross check. Just a second, just a second. I think almost we are done. Can you give your environment? But at last only we have to do it. Yes, I can share this complete file with you all. Of course. There is from day one live, I am doing this in one Python file only because from day one only I plan to share this and share the PPT, because you have this both, you all will have this both resources. You can go through the PPT and also the code. You have both these resources and will learn Python. So you want right away, or I am planning it to share after or at the end of day 5. So we will have all the notes at one place and all the codes at one place. It's up to you all. You want the file right away, right now, I can share it, or else I can share it on the day 5 live. It's completely to you all. And day 4 and day 5 live, I'm planning it tomorrow and day after tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, and trying to wind it off this week only. At the end. Okay, done. So Sunday I will be sharing. Okay, okay, yeah, that's what my plan from the start. So I will be sharing this file at Sunday. Tomorrow I will be going live in afternoon, and Sunday also in afternoon, because we will have a free time in afternoon and evening. You can chill out with your friends, go out, etc., etc., etc. Have a gala time. So I think this is all. Let me quickly check that today's topic are done or not. Okay, let me. I have notes in my cell phone also. Okay, if elif else is done, match case done, for while loop are done, break and continue is done. Okay, day 3 is done. Day 4, tomorrow will be a much more complex session because we are starting with function and lambda, decorators, scope and iterators, And of course, oops. I love oops concept, classes, object, and inheritance. Day 5 will be modules, try and accept, file handling, JSON, regex, GUI. So day 5 will be very heavy one, and day 4 is also a very heavy one. So make sure you join tomorrow's live, which will be I will be starting at 2 o'clock, and of course Sunday also. Or you all suggest what time fit for you all. I will be coming live at that time only. Just suggest me if 2 p.m. tomorrow is fine for you all. Tomorrow is gonna big day. Yes, of course, tomorrow is gonna big day because functions is next level. We need to learn function and oops concept. That is what the programming is all about. Function and oops. Tomorrow 2 p.m. It's fit for you all. Then I will be starting my live 2 p.m. sharp tomorrow. And same for the Sunday. Just give me a thumbs up so we can lock this time day and day after tomorrow. For day and day after tomorrow, of course. 2 p.m. Nobody is going college. Half day means I think morning you will be free. Up till 11 or 12 you will be free. TK enter, TK enter, TK enter. Because that is basic. Once you understand TK enter, then you can jump to PYQT5. Okay, done. Majority of you are saying 2 p.m. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, 2 p.m. day 4 live Python. If you are not sure what are the topic in this video description, I have already put all the topics what we have already gone through and in the coming section. So let's start with a Q&A session. If you have any doubt, you can ask me right now, right away. Q&A session. Feel free to clear your doubts or revisit any topic for today. Let's start with that. This is we have already done with this all. Sunday we can go early. Okay, sure, I'm fine with that. Early means 11:10, 10 a.m., 11 a.m. If you all want to have a little late night sleep at Saturday, you will be waking up at 8, 8:30 or 9. Be fresh, be ready, grab your coffee, 10 a.m. We can go on Sunday. If everybody is fine, because tomorrow 2 p.m. I'm fine with that. Sunday 10 a.m. early morning, or you all don't want to learn early morning. Shivangs are ready to. Shivang wants to learn early morning. Just waiting for others. Okay, okay. 11 is fine, Shivang. 11 is fine. If others want to join a bit late, 11 is fine. We will start at 11 because Sunday's topic is huge. It's too huge. So I think it will end up at 3 or 4 if we go with this pace. Because my ultimate motive is you all to learn the topic. I just don't want to haste it, cover up all the topic, and then my end my live stream. That's why I'm going very slowly. Of course, okay, done. So I will be editing my live time tomorrow 2 p.m. sharp, Sunday 11 a.m. sharp. We will be meeting. I hope there is no doubt or no query regarding today's topic because this all concept, if, else, logical operators, comparative operators, we will be utilizing it in functions, in oops, and of course other places. Yes, interesting. It is very interesting. The topics from tomorrow onwards in because here we are starting intermediate Python. This is all basic. This all was basic. Now we are starting the intermediate one. Okay, yeah, Shivang, bye. Take care. Happy learning and happy coding. If you all don't have any doubt or any query right now, so we can end up the live stream. If you have, I will wait for 1 or 2 minutes for you all to clear your doubts. So waiting on the live chat. And if you want to know how to solve the Rubik's Cube, just ping me on my DM me on my Insta. I will share the algorithm with you all. You're welcome, you're welcome. Okay, that means you don't have any doubt. It's either mean two things. You all are very good learners, or the topic is very basic. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow live we will be seeing the topic, because tomorrow's and day after tomorrow topic is very interesting and it's a bit difficult also. Also, quick little question regarding typing. Typing, yeah. The question is, I am going with flip-flop method. Okay, let's do FLOP flop method. Oh, okay, FLOP method. Oh, so you know how to solve Rubik's cube. Just a second. A quick little question regarding then Shivang as okay and Rubik cube. Yeah, yeah. FLOP I understood. Face left overflow. Sir, or which one is better? It's completely up to you. I think this is my 14th year of teaching. I've started teaching when I was in 7th grade. At that time, I was teaching the student were there in 10th grade. So it's up to you. If you are comfortable and friendly, calling me bro, it's fine. Calling me sir, it's also fine. It's completely up to you all. Our purpose is to understand the concept we are learning. I'm comfortable with anything. Touch typing, or what is the basic WVM like a programmer should have. Okay, it's completely depending on the type of programming language, of course. In Python, we don't use curly braces, angular braces, semicolons. You're getting my point, Rama? So it completely depend on which type of programming language or what type of frameworks. Like Angular is a framework, React is a library you're using while time of coding. So the typing style is also depend on what type of programming language you code on. Then sir, because you're saying if you're comfortable, anything is fine. Okay, if no doubts, let's end up this session and meet you tomorrow 2 p.m. I will starting the live at 5 minutes earlier. You just join the live, settle down on your laptops, systems, jot down anything. If you want any queries before starting the live, you can comment that question in the live comment section. Before joining, I will of course will answering them. And 2 p.m. sharp will be starting with function. Words per minute. Ah, the short. I'm not Gen Z, so using this. One of my student use some shortcuts. I'm not aware of those shortcuts, of course, because my typing style, I just you see, I'm using number one, number two. That's why not IEX. I don't like this. I'm old fashioned, of course. Typing per minute. Touch typing, or what is the basic RPM like a programmer should have. It's not compulsory. See, it's if you are a programmer, you don't need to worried about this all word per minute. Why you want to type, for example, why you want to type 100 words in a minute? You're not working in bank. You need to tackle 100 customers. You're working in a very big bank or bank company. For example, I worked for Microsoft. It was my first company. So they won't hire me as I'm very speed in typing. Of course not. They will hire me as my algorithms, my logic is best. For example, solving issues depending on the issue uh, level. For example, the issue is very basic, minimal. You can solve it in 1 or 2 hours, and it can be solved while writing 15 lines of code. So that 15 lines of code you can type in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. That doesn't matter. That 15 lines of code should work and actually fix that problem. That matters. You got my point? Fixing the problem is always matter in IT world. Yes, of course, typing doesn't matter here. D- for that, provided it's an it's a company, bro. It's just a company. For IT is company. Currently, I work for IBM, so it's just a company. You switch from one company to another company. It's not for me. It's not that big company. It's company because if you have that skill set, if you know that programming languages, not just one, of course, the databases, the DSA that you all were talking about. If you know all that skill set, then ultimately you can crack any interview, not just for this company. You can also crack for, you can apply for chat gpt, anything. Yes, of course, the problem solving skills, but it should be domain specific. For example, like Google, like let's take an example of Google. If Google wants to hire a backend developer in Java, you have a very awesome problem solving skills, but you don't know Java, will Google hire you? No, of course not. So you also need to know the tech stack with problem solving, and when this two combines, you need to look out for those opportunity where your skill set match, and that is how a job hunt is being done. Yes, we are hunting down the job now. I know this. I want to work for that company, but there should be an opening, a job opening which match my skill set. For just an example, you have a restaurant. You want an idli and dosa maker, a chef which knows to create dosa and idli. But there is one chef who knows to create Chinese. Will you hire that chef? No, of course, because you are looking for a dosa and idli chef, who can create an dosa and idli or make an dosa and idli. So how was their interview experience like in big companies? Like it was way long. I not I, I just that was my first company that I have given. I think 5 rounds of interview that time. I didn't remember, and I can't recall also any question. I can't recall also any question and how it went, the experience also, because I worked now in so many companies, given interviews, and just right now I'm with the stage I am. There is no programming questions for us. If I want to switch from this company to other company, there will be no logical or programming question for senior guys. Initially, up till I think 3 to 4 years in professionally, if you're working, you need to give 3 rounds or 5 rounds of interview with all the programming and DSA and this type of questions. But once you go beyond 7 years or 8 years of experience, 10 years of experience, then I don't think company will ask you such silly questions, because 8 years of coding career, of course, that guy will be wonderful in coding. If 8 years he is coding in Java, 8 years he is coding in Angular, 8 years he is coding in React, of course, he know React inside out. So why to ask any simple questions like how to do this, how to that? Just create a simple program in Python or React or anything. It doesn't make any sense. But okay. Sunday, once we complete the GUI, I will share the experience of interviews, not mine, but my students. Recently, one of my student in I think in month of July got placed with a very good package. He was studying, I think more than 3.5 years from me offline, and he got placed in, of course, a big company, a big IT tech giant company with a very good package. And he was a full stack developer. Of course, I motivate others to be a full stack developer because I myself is a full stack cloud engineer plus AI scientist. Remove that other part, but of course, if you're going for a job, if you're looking for an opportunity, just go for a full stack. Don't be a front end, don't be a back end, be both, because that widens your job opportunity. because now you know backend, now you know front end. If there is no opportunity in front end, you can work as a backend. If there is no opportunity in backend, you can work as a front end. But if you are a full stack, you can work in full stack backend and front end because you know inside out backend and front end. But only if you are a backend, you can't work in front end. You just need to find another opportunity and get yourself placed as a backend developer. Okay, we will have a separate live session on this job, how to crack a job, what field we need to go into. Okay, because the title is Python Bootcamp, and anybody will join this, they will say, oh, leaving Python, they are talking everything else. So I will be winding this off, and on Sunday we will continue this our discussion after all the topics is done. Okay, so thank you so much for, yes, of course, Figma is nothing. Figma, uh, that's it's wire mapping of your UI. You know, UX developer, why we say you should know the user experience. So before a front end developer codes anything, UI is being created by a UX developer in a Figma. So Figma is nothing a wireframing of your complete UI. Either it should be a mobile application, web application, or desktop. Yes, see you tomorrow, Rama. See you. Okay, I need to end up this live. Any question further, we can continue on tomorrow's live and Sunday's live. Sunday, because everyone is free, we can go in detail. Of course. That's it for today's live. Keep coding, keep building, keep pushing your limit. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. More projects, more live is coming soon. This is NM signing out. Till then, bye.